can feel that there are beings around me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's almost like they're in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. So I'd want you to go ahead and begin to open up those other senses where you could hear them. Begin to hear the flow once again. What are they discussing today?
I hear the word judgment.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about judgment.
They're talking about judgment. How many of these shadows do you see?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
they're the disciples.
They are the disciples. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Who's coming forth?
Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Why has Simon stepped forward today?
For Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
for the judgment that Jesus has received.
Mm-hmm. You could connect with their hearts and souls and could feel it.
Mm. We are bereft.
Mm-hmm.
Such judgment for one that is so pure of heart.
What has caused so much judgment for one man?
He is showing the people that there's another way.
Mm-hmm.
And the powers that be don't want the people to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had him removed.
How did that affect everyone who is learning from him and following him?
We are disoriented. We are bereft.
Mm-hmm.
And we are scared. For if they did that to him, we are next in line.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to scatter. We have to get our belongings. We have to find our women and our children. And we have to put them into hiding. For some of the children are too young to travel with us. And they are our beloveds as well. And so we are separated once again. But we are more determined than ever to continue this work. For we see now what a threat freedom is to the powers that be. For if he was not speaking the truth, he would still be with us.
Mm-hmm. Simon, can you talk to me about freedom? What is freedom? What are they afraid of?
They don't want you to know who you are. They want ownership because they want to tax you.
Mm-hmm.
For taxation is all that is important to them, but they do not realize that if the people are free to be who they are, taxations will come in a different manner. Taxations will be given with love, for it will be for their fellow man and for their families
Mm-hmm.
to provide nourishment, housing, education, clean water, teaching.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be a yoke around them. For are they not a particle in the pulse of all that is?
Yes.
So why would one want to contain a cell in all that is and not let it roam free?
Is that what Jesus was teaching?
Our master. And he did not like to be called that. For
Mm-hmm.
as we said before, he was not one about control or power, but he was the supreme way shower. Wherever he went, the light fell in abundance, for he had so much love within him, and as a result, it came out of him and showered like the rain on all.
Mm-hmm.
There was not one that he did not love. Beggars, thieves, royalty, prostitutes, businessmen, housewives, all were equal.
I'm sure that the
He
master taught
wanted
you.
to show them who.
What did he want to show?
Sorry, Alba.
What did he want to show?
He wanted to show them that they are God.
Mm.
When they said, in my image, we arrived in his image in this current 3D form, but he or it or the power or the source or the strawberry jam. He has many forms. We have many forms.
Mm-hmm.
Our current form is as a 3D earthling, but this is not who you are. This is the coat that you wear. And so we come back to judgment.
Mm-hmm.
This one today has put on a pearl necklace. She has put on pearl earrings. She looks different to the other sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Even put waves in her straight hair. And we did this because we wanted to speak about judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Today, she's wearing something called a jersey, a jumper, or a cardigan. It is made out of soft cashmere. These are things. These pearls, these waves, this cashmere does not define who this being is. It is exterior. This being could have on a raggedy dress, no waves, no cashmere, no pearls, and her essence would remain the same. However, earthlings have been taught to judge one another. And why does one judge another? For our master was judged. And those that you judge today, not only are you crucifying them, but you are crucifying yourselves. For did it not say, judge not, lest ye be judged?
Yes.
So when you judge one that has what you deem to be better than what you are, from the trappings, then you feel less than, and you put them on an elevated status. But this is not who they are. They are not better than you or less than you because of their trappings. And those that judge somebody else for their trappings are entrapped themselves. And those that have the trappings and think they are better than another, they are entrapped as well. So today, we want people, as we said in our last session, to look in the mirror, and if there's going to be any judgment, please let us not look at the exterior. Let us start pulling out everything that's in the interior. What is residing there, Alba? Is it guilt? Is it lust? Is it resentment? Is it envy? Is it lack of self, lack of courage, lack of confidence? These are the things that we want them to bring up and out. For we are saying the day of judgment is nearing. There is a quickening in the multiverses. The energy is getting closer and closer. And that is why know thyself. This is a time for cleaning. This is a time for cleansing. This is a time for consciousness. This is a time for the great awakening. One cannot reach ascension if one has not woken up. And so our master came to teach us all about truth. And truth is who you are. No one controls you. You came here on this earth plane to partake of a mission as a light being, as a spark of God. You are boundless and you are everywhere. And as she puts her hand on her chest, she's feeling her vibration, her frequency. And now, Alba, we wish you to put your hand on your chest.
Yes.
Is your hand on your chest?
Yes, it is.
Alba, we wish for all those who are listening to now press firmly their hand on their chest. And we wish them to say, I am. Repeat after me, Alba. I
am.
am.
I am.
Louder.
I am.
One more time, Alba.
I am.
What did you feel?
It's a very strong vibration.
Now, Alba, we wish everybody to say, I am a spark of light. I am a light being. I come from the all that is. There is no end. I am boundless. I have nothing to fear because I am.
That's quite a mouthful.
They need to write this down. They need to press what you term pause on this transmission. And they need to lie down like this one. And they need to proclaim who they are this given day. For they are the power and the glory. Let there be no misunderstanding on this given day of whom they are. It is time for them to claim their sovereignty. For the all I am wishes to expand.
Now that we've declared that, can you tell me more about this day of judgment and why we must declare this?
Alba, do you not work with many beings under hypnosis?
Yes.
Do you not have those souls who have fragmented that need to go back to the all that is? Do you not
Yes.
allow them to heal themselves into wholeness before they return to the light?
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. This procedure is so humanity carries a lighter load. When a lighter load is carried, when they say that I am, their resonance goes up. Their resonance lightens. Their frequency goes onto a different channel. When it is low, it is like a valley peak, and they are at the bottom of the peak and having to climb up. When it is higher, it is much shorter and faster. And so the transmission is higher frequency. When it is a higher frequency, we, their guides, can transmit a lot smoother and a lot faster with them. We wish them to lose the baggage that they carry before they get onto the supersonic highway. For as the new energy arises, there will be much friction on Earth. There will be dissatisfaction. There will be rumblings. And as we said before, many will, what you term, pass away. But they will know who they are. They will have accomplished their mission. Do you not have on all your food stuff a best by date or a used by date?
Yes. Expiration date.
An expiration. No more breath. It will have expired. However, they will be done when they have done what they have come to do. Some have short lives. Some have longer lives. One is not better than the other. But how many humans are living fully with the breath that they have at the moment? They are so busy judging one another, feeling less than or superior to another, that they've forgotten the brotherhood, what it is to be loved and to enjoy each other's company, for they are fixated with the blue box, with the latest fashion, and trying to keep up with the Joneses. Alba, it is so much nonsense, so much time wasted when they could be connecting internally with us and with the all that is. For all will sit in front of the wise council. The wise council will not be judging them, for they are wise. For all these beings on earth will be judging themselves. How did they do? Could they have done better? Did they have the opportunity to wake up? Did they have the opportunity to assist not only themselves, but another? For Alba, the greatest service that one can give oneself is to assist another. For there are great lessons to be learnt when giving of oneself. For one also needs to receive help from another. It is very easy to give to another, but it is very hard to receive from another.
Yes.
Then one has to realize one has value. And there are so few humans that realize their value. But we would like to say every single human incarnation on this earth plane now have incredible value, are part of this beautiful planet, and are part of ascension. Many are lying low. Many, after hearing this transmission, will rise and meet the challenge.
It is challenging at this time. In our own country, here in the United States, they're doing everything they can to separate us by gender, by color, by sexual preferences, by money, by everything. They're keeping us physically apart. They're masking us so we can't see each other. Why so much difficult time at this time, right before the Judgment Day?
Because, Alba, when somebody makes gold bullion, it's put under incredible pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And only then does the purity come out.
Hmm.
And this is all part of what is termed the rising. This one is now being shown, a painting that she did, a sketch many years ago, almost 20 years ago, and we gave her a vision of a king on a throne hewn out of rock. And that king was called Christ.
Hmm.
And behind the throne was the sun rising. And there were people coming out of the sun. It looked as if they were coming out of the sun. Women, children, men, walking and walking and walking, all together, coming to discover a new land and a new earth. And it was as if they were the sun, for they were light beings. They were beings of light, not heavy beings, not dragging around 30 kilos. But it was a new way and a golden era. But how does one get the golden era without removing the dross?
Hmm.
This current period in your earth plane has much corruption, has much darkness, and the agitation will increase as the energy comes closer. This energy that is coming closer is a present to the human race, for it is lifting the tempo. It is lifting the vibrations. It is lifting the people to rise above.
Mm-hmm.
And when we say rise above, Alba, we're saying rise above those that will have you shackled and yoked for the taxations, for the corruption and the power of holding mankind down.
Hmm.
When this energy arrives, as the tempo lifts, as the economies collapse, as work disappears, as the systems start to crumble, many will think this is catastrophic, but they are the light warriors that have come here for ascension. They are strong. This is but temporary. And this agitation has to occur in order for the old ways to fall away. For this is not how humanity is supposed to live. This is not thriving. This is surviving. And humanity got a small taste during lock-up COVID, what it was to reunite with their loved ones without the stress of having to go to work. Now that feeling, Alba, that they had, many had not had this feeling for a long time. Many had not slept in, rested their bodies for a very, very, very long time. For they were on the treadmill, the constant treadmill of humanity, to buy things that they don't need, to keep up with the Joneses, to feel that they fit in and they belong and that they have value. And they have been marketed by the puppeteers through that blue box to always feel less than, to always feel that they have to have the bigger house, the better clothes, the bigger car, to have value. And so they are enslaved. They are then separated by being told they're superior because they are a different color to another. But let me tell you, our Father in heaven, the all that is, made every living being. No one color, nationality, or culture is superior or inferior to another. For when you bake a delicious cake and you leave out all the beautiful bits, you're not going to have the flavor. In the golden era, which will be visited upon the earth plane, many will for the first time see what it is to be human. But Alba, we know this is a very, very long answer to your question, but this is very important. We wish humanity to be gentle with themselves. We wish them to forgive themselves for what they have been taught or termed is a sin. Most of these so-called sins are nothing other than lessons that need to be navigated to know who you are. Be truthful with yourselves. Be truthful with your loved ones. Give yourselves something that you term slack. Give yourselves a little slack. But be true to yourselves. For when you stand before yourself and the wise ones, you want to be as crystal as possible. And the more crystal that you are now, day by day, when the great leveler comes and the energy gets closer, you will be stronger, you will be firm in your resolve, and you will not allow yourself to be coerced by those in government and governance who wish you harm. As we said before, we do not wish for a revolution externally. with violence. We want peaceful sittings. We want people side by side, for you are all a link on the chain. And this one is being shown an image of an enormous metal hammer from the power and the corruption. And they are wanting, like a sledgehammer, to break all those chains of brotherhood. For when you unite and remember who you are and your sovereignty, there is not one government that can control you, for you are your own control. Let all be free. And we end this particular question with the hand on the chest and say, I am.
Am.
Thank you, Alba.
Thank you for that. I have so many questions about this wave of energy coming. People have talked about an event that's coming. They've shown it as in their mind as being physical, as a light. They've shown it as being other things. Will we be able to know that we are in this wonderful energy?
Albert is getting closer.
Mm.
Many are feeling very fatigued.
Yes.
This is one of the signs.
Mm-hmm. So will we
We
be
wish
sleeping more?
humanity, we wish humanity to drink lots of water, more so than usual, for your cell structures need water, for they plump up with water, and they will hear our transmissions and our guidance. This is a time to be guided.
Mm.
This energy that arrives will be of a frequency that you have not assimilated into your human structures before. And that is why we need water and rest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is of such a high frequency, it'll affect weather, it'll affect tectonics, the plate structures, holding the continents in place. There will be many upheavals physically, internally. We wish humans to stop stuffing themselves with foodstuffs at this time, because when they eat to excess, or when they put dross inside the spine system, they're weighing themselves down. If there is a turbulence and you have a feather, the feather will float above. But if you were a rock, the rock would be heavy, it would fall, and it would have a lot of turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we want people to stop judgment, to know who they are, to be the finest specimen that they could be. You know, Alba, when humans arrive on this earth plane and they are what is termed babies. If you put a toddler on a beach, would that toddler point to different people on the beach and say, "Oh, I can't play with you. You don't have the latest swimsuit on.
No.
I can't play with you because you're the wrong color. I can't play with you because you're not my religion." A toddler would not say that. So why would a bigger toddler say that?
Mm-hmm.
And these people, Alba, call themselves adults. But they are not adult. They are toddler mindsets. We want adults to have a toddler mindset, loving everybody, playing with everybody, accepting everybody. When did the toddler learn to judge? When did the toddler learn to think they were separate from their brother? The all that is did not produce human form to be separate, but rather to enhance one another through their different abilities, their different gifts, their different recipes, their different cultures. You should be sharing and celebrating with joy the differences rather than fighting each other and separating. Do not let those in governance divide you from another.
Thank you very much. And in that, you had written the word equality for us. Is that what you're speaking of?
This is what we are speaking of. Equality. We would like human beings, each one that is listening to this transmission now, to make what you term posters with the word equality. Put them on their car windows. Put them in their house windows. Wear them on their chests. Make a banner. We want equality for all. And we spoke about judgment, and now we speak about equality. Do you think that somebody in the poorest part of your country, if he stands in front of a judge, which you call a judge in a house of court, will he get the same judgment as one of those humans who come from what you term a privileged background?
No, not at all.
Alba?
That's the way of the courts. That's the way of the people. They judge.
But is this justice?
No, it is not.
Is that called justice for all?
No.
So, Alba, what does your constitution say?
Freedom and justice for all.
So, Alba, where are the banners? Why do we have to have a movement called Black Lives Matter? Life matters in any color, shape, or form. All lives matter. justice for all, equality for all, judgment for none.
Mm. It's going to be a different world.
Alba, it's up to the people.
Mm-hmm.
We said in our last session, the giant is sleeping. The giant are the people.
Mm-hmm.
Why do the people allow their sovereign rights to be taken away? We do not wish for them to blame the governments. For once again, there is lack of responsibility of self. For
Mm-hmm.
is not self responsible for self?
Yes.
So, if one has not stood up and said enough is enough, how can one then blame another?
Mm-hmm.
One has a voice box, does one not?
Yes.
It's time for the pulse. It is time for the finger, the third finger, once again, to rest in the base of one's throat. And as one said before, I am on the chest. We wish them to put their finger deeply in the crevice of their throat. That's where their voice box is. And say, I am sovereign.
I am sovereign.
I am sovereign.
I
I
am
control
sovereign.
myself.
I control myself.
I am part of the all that is.
I am part of the all that is.
No one separates me. I separate myself from another.
No one separates me. I separate myself from another.
It is time
It is time
to claim back
to claim back
my freedom.
my freedom.
So be it.
So be it. Thank you. I want to focus now on how we become so judgmental and so broken. You had spoken about domestic violence and the broken boy. How do we stop the wheel of violence?
Alba, there is a very strong movement that we see taking place on your earth plane. You know, it started off with the called Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
Then it moved to Black Lives Matter. And now we see it save the children.
Yes.
And humans get very emotional when it's their children.
Mm-hmm.
But people listening to this transmission are what are termed adults. But how do you become an adult unless you too were a child once? Is that not how it goes? Baby, child, teenager, adult.
That's right.
And so we speak of the broken boys and the broken girls who are now adults. And although they are adult in size, there's a broken boy and a broken girl inside these adult beings. And this one is crying for them, for she feels their pain. And as they were broken little boys and little girls, they grew up with frustration and anger and sorrow. And they were not cared for when they were little. And now They are broken big boys and broken big girls. And so they hurt the others through domestic violence. They know not how to cope with the hurt and the pain, for they lack communication and value of self, for they know not who they are. And their parents did not know who they were, for the controllers and the puppeteers have controlled for centuries. And so the violence and the domestic abuse continues. So, yes, it is so important to save the children. But who are going to save the broken big boys and the broken big girls? So, Alba, we would like a community to begin. We would like, just like it was Me Too, Black Lives Matter, save the children. We now want something to start, and it's save the big broken boys and girls. Let them step forward. Let them form a community. Let them not play victim. Let them get in touch with Angela. Let them get in touch with Jason Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be taught the emotional skills. Let us break the old ways, the broken ways, and let us heal these broken boys and girls. And Alba, we said in our last session that much will be disclosed as these broken big boys and broken big girls come up and speak out and join forces and have each other. They will be able to expose much darkness. But those perpetrators have been broken themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So where does one start and where does one stop? How much love does one hold? How much judgment does one hold? Does one hold more anger in oneself than forgiveness and love?
Mm-hmm.
At some stage, everything has to come up and out. It is a tribunal for human justice and forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. So, for those that are listening right now that are broken, what would you like to tell them?
They can contact this one. She is known as the connector,
Mm-hmm.
for she connects men. She knows the avenues and the people that can be put together. For today, she connected many with their hearts. For now, they are waking up. Alba, your platform is one of light. It is light infused. Your team and our team are working in unity to raise the vibrations of each human that hears these words. For today, this transmission will be one of the most powerful yet. For each human who listens to this will be touched, and they will share this transmission with many. For there are many that are broken, but it is a time of healing and purity and fresh beginnings.
Wonderful. You spoke about timing and alignment on your list. Is that something we've already discussed?
We wish to speak about timing, and we wish to speak about alignment.
Thank you.
And what is timing? And what is alignment? But they work together. This one now has spoken of Angela, who resides in a country called Australia. And she has spoken of Jason Wright, who lives in your country, America.
Mm-hmm.
And she spoke to you this morning of a man called Steve Dix,
Mm-hmm.
who has a pure heart, who also comes from this one's homeland in South Africa, but has moved to Australia. We, this one's team, have been working on a timeline to put them together with another from Australia who worked with the Children's Commission. They will be working with the broken ones, with the big broken ones, and the little broken ones. This one recently did a reading for a lady in New Zealand who had been sexually molested by a step-brother. When she did the reading, the guides came through and used a term. She took one for the team,
Mm.
and it meant the team of humanity, for she has immense strength. She is a detective. We put her into that job because she will be able to set up a program for the children,
Mm.
to speak out whenever they've been told, shh, this is a secret, don't tell anybody. She will be working with Jason and Angela and Stephen and our child commissioner. And so all these only came together in the last 2 months, for none of them were aligned beforehand. They were all in their own journey, and we had to assimilate many different beings over many different continents to work together at the same time. But humanity always wants to have it now. But the time has to be aligned. So those that are listening, that want to make a difference, please know, just by listening to our words today through this one, our messenger, our ambassador from the Intergalactic Federation of Light that sits with Jesus. His essence is coming through this one today. His great love for you all, and the energy that is coming for the rising of you all is the energy of the Christ, the love and the light. Will you all rise to the occasion?
Thank you. Yes. Something else we wanted to discuss was reading people's energy from emails or Facebook or things like that. And there was a thing that you put there, befriendment request. Would you like to talk about our social media?
The reason we put this out there, this one has a big heart, Alba.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to reject anyone, but she gives and she gives and she gives. And we don't wish for this one to be exhausted by the giving, so that she can't be our mouthpiece. So we would like to put a request to all that listen. By all means, connect with her. She has much to offer. She can connect you with many groups. But she will be setting up a separate Facebook page, which will be a Jill Cole Facebook page for all of you. And then she'll have a separate one for her close friends and her family. But there have been a few that have been befriending her, and she sees that there are mutual friends. But when she speaks to the mutual friend to find out about the one that is befriending her, that mutual friend does not know that person, and yet they're befriending them. So what actually is this all about, Alba? We want people to read the energy of another, for not all are aligned. So this one is now reading the energy of friendships through what's termed Facebook. And she's reading the energy that comes in via emails. Alba, we wish this one to no longer do readings. or it is stressing her too much.
Okay.
She needs to spend and focus her energy now on the discourse.
Okay.
She needs to type up the book. She needs to get the book into audio form. That is where we wish for her energy to be expelled. She is fully booked until the end of September. We will allow her to take new clients until the end of October. But we are seeing that she is beginning to stress, for she wishes to please so many, and yet she has not been out for a walk and connected with nature, for she is giving to others and not to self, and yet she teaches others to give to selves before they give to another.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we wish to make this broadcast about befriendment. She does not wish to upset or reject any.
Thank you. I would think that's the same for everyone else, that they should also be reading and connecting only with those that vibrate the same as
Correct.
them. Okay, very good.
On
Very
their
good.
color wave, Alba.
What is it?
On their color wave.
On their color waves, that's right. That's it. Very good. So, is there anything else that you would like to express today? It was a very good session.
Alba, this one doubts herself
Yes.
over and over. This was our 8th session.
Mm-hmm.
This was a dedication to Simon,
Yes.
the disciple. She is our mouthpiece. We will not let her down. She does never wish to disappoint. She has great love for humanity. She feels their pain. She feels their anxiety. But yesterday, Alba, we would like to thank you for the gift that you gave her, for our Master stepped forward and connected with her in her heart,
Mm.
and the vibrations that the humans felt today through this one was the Christed light from our Father.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Alba, we would like to thank you so much for the beautiful work that you honor us with.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alba.
Thank you. Who are we speaking with today? Are we speaking with Simon or Urka or someone else?
Today, you are speaking through the fractal of Jesus
Mm-mm.
and Simon
Mm-mm.
combined, for they are a brotherhood.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. What do we call this session today? Is it judgment?
Freedom.
Mm.
I am.
Freedom I am. Is that right?
Correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the transmission. Yes.
Correction.
But
We would like to transverse that.
I am freedom.
I am freedom.
That sounds much better. Thank you so much for this. And I'd like to thank all of the guides who are assisting with this, with Jill, with me, and all of those who are listening. Thank you for joining us here today with your collective love and vibration. Thank you for that. Are we complete?
We are complete.
Thank you, Jill.
Oh my gosh, my golly gosh. Yeah.
What did you connect with at the beginning? I don't even know where you were, but do you remember how we began?
Yeah, I was, it was like I'd gone into a meeting place or a sort of back to that angelic realm.
Okay.
So there was a really strong, big being in front of me, but it was all in shadows, and then they were all around me. So I think that must have been Jesus, because that was exactly the same shadowy figure that I saw yesterday, when we did the little Zoom.
Yes.
That stepped forward. So it was like him with his angels, and I think those were the disciples.
You said the 12, there were 12 of them.
Did I say
12.
that?
Yes, yes. You said they were the disciples, and then Simon came forward
Yeah.
which with so much grief in his heart. So yeah, it was amazing. And there was a point where I guess Jesus came in and just took over, because it was a very strong voice after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a combination of Simon and Jesus, but yeah, it was amazing. This was an amazing session.
Yeah, it's so funny because they woke me up with the judgment and the equality and the
Yeah.
what is it?
Well, we had justice, judgment, equality, timing, tiredness, sleep, all
That's
that.
right, those three: justice, equality, and judgment.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, that's not going to really make a session.
Well, it did.
And didn't you say this morning, well, that's not a lot of questions?
Yeah, but this is the same as in my sessions. When people come to me with tons of session, it's not going to do it. The less is more. And it seems like when you have less questions, it's more robust, and we're able to really discuss it in depth. At the beginning, we had our lists were like, 3 pages long, and it was just too much. So I think we've finally gotten a good rhythm, and they give you exactly what they want to discuss. And we really went in depth about that judgment. And the broken boys and girls, that was a big one too.
Oh, my heart for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's so funny because on one of our sessions, somebody spoke about being a victim of sexual abuse. And I'd made a comment about there's no victims.
Yes.
The person got really, really, really angry with me because they didn't know who they were, and I wasn't denigrating what they had been through.
Right.
It's like they don't realize that. I mean, they're going to say, who would ever choose to actually be that, right?
Yes.
And Alba, the work that you and I do, we are learning and learning more and more and more. So many layers.
Yes.
I mean, you'd be able to say that. Wouldn't you be able to back me up with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those souls are the courageous souls. Those are the courageous ones. Those are the strongest souls there are. So they've chosen the toughest battles.
Actually, I've just had an epiphany now. So those ones, as you've just said, are such brave ones.
Yes.
Those are the ones that are going to start speaking out. Those are the ones that are a catalyst for change.
Yeah.
They don't realize that what happened to them has given them immense power.
Yeah.
To be the change.
Yes. So this is going to be an incredible catalyst. Let's see who's going to step up. That's great. Well,
Wow.
so I want to thank everybody for watching. This was another amazing session. And just as it was said today in this session, share this. Share this with people, and we can't do it ourselves, but we could put it out there and just share it with others. And if they're ready, they're going to hear it and it's going to affect them. So thanks for watching. Until the next one. Thank you, Jill. Much love to
Praise
everyone.
God.
Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.